Hey dudes and chicks, and neither of those rules don't apply to you. Welcome to Pick for Last Time. My name is Katie. Today, I'm just going to be doing a get ready with me. I hope you guys aren't bored of this, but I'm going to use the Surge palette and the Sugar and Grunge palette and a little bit of the Gemini palette. And I'm just going to be talking about some shit that I'm actually really fucking stoked about. Just kind of the process that I've been going through as I've been like going through this breakup and rebuilding myself and like continuing to like grow and turn this negative into a positive, and the things that I've been doing have actually really been working. So I'm super stoked to tell you guys about it, and if you guys are interested in hearing it, or if you want to see how I got this look, or if you just like to watch, it's been a while since I said that, then hang out. I'm already primed with my P. Louise primer in Rumor 02. This look might be a little bit boring for you guys because I'm doing it to match my shirt, which looks like this. So it's pretty neutral and honestly kind of on brand for the color scheme I've been wearing lately. So if it's boring, this video isn't really about my makeup look. It's more about like the words that I'm saying. So I'm gonna try this Sigma Detail, the E27, and I'm gonna go into the color Taboo. Let me see what happens here. I'm gonna actually go a little bigger on that. I'm gonna use my Made by Mitchell ME3, and I'm gonna go into the color Taboo, and I'm gonna take that above my crease because I'm gonna go in with the color Grunge after and deepen it up. So essentially, I have been having a major period of reflection, and I've been trying to figure out what in the actual fuck am I really trying to do here. It's been hard for me to kind of figure that out, and what I've realized this weekend is that this was never about makeup for me. Makeup was a part of it because, well, just because it was, because I love makeup. But this was always about a transformation for me. What I mean by that is, God, this color is so pretty. I have just been loving the colors that I've been choosing lately. I don't know, maybe I just love all the colors, but there came a point for me where the life that I was living, it was always fun to me. I've always really loved my life. And so what I was doing was really fun for me, and it made it difficult for me to see that there was going to be anything else better. For me, when I started having consequences, that's the reason. And so like we all kind of go through that where we start to have consequences for the life that we're living. I mean, I don't know that we all do, but eventually we get health problems, we're not making enough money, we start to worry about the future. Like there is some sort of consequence that is the result of the way that we're living. You know, I guess that everybody doesn't live like that, but if that's not the story for you, then this ain't about you. So for me, I was getting consequences for the life that I loved, and so I had to change the way that I lived. And in order for me to do that, I had to redefine what I wanted out of life. I knew at a really, really early age, like probably 21, that I didn't want to work for somebody else, because it was very clear to me when I was 21, I kind of had some experiences that made it clear to me that if I was working for someone else, I was making their dreams come true and my dreams weren't coming true. And at the time, I didn't know what my dreams were, but I knew that eventually I was, and that I was going to be making someone else's dream come true and not my own. There came a point where I had to stop living the way that I was living, and I knew that in order for me to access what I needed within me, I was going to have to change myself. And I didn't really know how to do that at the time. I knew that I was going to have to become the type of person that could do those things. How was I going to become the type of person that didn't have to work for somebody else and was actually like doing something that meant something to me and something that was aligned with my values? So that was the other thing, is I've always known that I was not willing to compromise my values or my ideals. You know, if other people are working for someone else and you're not compromising your values or your ideals, that's fine. But I knew that as long as I was working for someone else, I was gonna be. Because I've always been weird Everybody's always thought I was weird. There's always been this, like, I've always been very aware of the fact that I don't really think or act like a lot of people in a lot of ways. That doesn't mean I don't have any similarities with people or that I don't identify with people, because I do. We're all more alike than we ever are different. But there's these critical pieces about me that have always been very obviously different. This last week, like, I've been really going through some changes, not because I wanted to, but because I've had to. I've had to reframe the way that I see what's going on. And, you know, going through this breakup has been this experience for me where I get to really go inside myself and look and see how, not because I wanted to, I did not want to do this, but I've had to actually like rise to the occasion and like rise above this situation in a way that is helpful and positive. I've had to reframe my mindset to turn this situation that has been painful for me into something that actually has like value, see the value in it, see what's great about it. I didn't do it because I wanted to do it. I did it because I had no fucking choice. However, I feel like because of what has happened, what I have right now, 4 weeks later into this, is way better than what I had before I went through this. What I've had to do over the last couple of weeks is, I mean, I kind of went through this like process. Now I'm going to use my Voldemorphe JH33. And I'm going to use, oh, here's why. Because here's why. I'm going to use the color Bella in the Gemini 2 palette to blend this out. Because the colors in the Blend Bunny palette that match this shirt are just a little bit too light for my skin. Oops. So I'm just going to use that on the outer edge. Oh yeah, that's going to be so pretty. I probably could have just used the Gemini 2 palette for this, but oh well. And I'm going to go all the way to the inner corner with this one because it's going to be pretty. This color is so pretty. The Gemini 2 is, I have had one person tell me that the Gemini 2 did not work for them at all, but I literally just love this palette. It's so pretty to me, like just so romantic and just beautiful. So anyways, I've had to go through this process of like really evaluating what do I need to do to make this situation valuable? What do I need to do to take this and make it so that it actually helped me and so that I know that my higher power is working for me, that my worst day became my best day. I've had a lot of worst days and they've all become my best day. And how do we do that, right? And so what I did over the last week was I actually wrote a book on how to go through a breakup, a painful breakup, and keep an abundant mindset. Because one of the things that I think happens is when we suffer a loss, and the principles that I write about in this book are true for any loss. If you're going through a loss and you are having a hard time shaking it or keeping a mentality that says that like my worst day is my best day and this is only happening for me, not to me, then all the principles in this book are gonna really help you out. So anyways, I did, over the last 2 weeks, I did all of the things that I wrote in this book. And that's kind of what inspired me to write it, because it's only like 7 pages. It's not like a novella. It's like a little guide, right? But I wrote it because I know people have told me in my DMs, people have emailed me, people have told me in the comments on my last videos that like they're going through similar shit and they're really struggling. And so how do we get through that struggle without running from our feelings and actually turn it into something that like propels us forward in a way that like we are grateful for the loss? And so I wrote this book and it's free. I literally made it for you guys for free for any time that somebody is like going through a breakup, because I want you guys to have it, period. It changed everything for me and I'm excited. Like I'm getting all these like, I'm sorry, there's like a little hair right here. So like everything that I've done, I did not include meditation in it because honestly, when I wrote it, meditation wasn't working for me. Like it has worked a little here and there, but it wasn't like it wasn't doing it for me. And I am big on meditation, but it wasn't doing it for me. And so I had to like access these other skills and tools, and I used them. And honestly, it has put me in such an amazing place that like I am like higher powered as fuck right now. So what I was realizing today, I'm just gonna go back into that color Taboo, which is super cute. What I realized today, and I've actually written a couple of like guidebooks, which I'll talk about in a little bit here, because it really helped me get a lot of clarity. And so as I was like saying before, like I have had a really hard time, like I've known that I wanted to do something on this channel, but I have never really been very clear on what it is. I wrote a book, and I wrote it to like describe the course that I created, the course that I like announced last week or whatever. I wrote it so that you guys could, it basically has everything in that book, has everything that I teach in my course that doesn't take materials. Like everything that I teach you in that course is the things that you can do without buying makeup, without having any makeup skills. It's all things that you can do to like improve your mental health and your spiritual wellness. Everything I put in the course is in this book. And right now it's only $10. So that's also going to be available in a link below. But what happened was, as I was thinking about what in the fuck am I doing? Why can't I get clear? Why can't I figure out what am I actually trying to do here? I realized that this was never about makeup for me. This was always about making a transformation that would get me, that I knew that I had to make to get the life that I want. Because when I first got clean, I was not capable of doing that. I was not capable of making dreams come true. I was not capable of belief. I was not capable of discipline, which I'm still not really that capable of discipline. Discipline, I think, is a result of divine inspiration. Like, I feel like it's become easier for me to become disciplined as I get more clear about what it is that I'm actually trying to do. And so this was always about something besides makeup. I'm gonna go into grunge with my Baby Made by Mitchell brush to just deepen up that outer V. This was always about something else, and I just never knew what. I just could never pinpoint it. And what I've realized moments ago is that this is about transitions. And so when I've been saying like changing the face of 40 and people feel like they're not 40 so they can't do it, this is really about moving to a new phase of your life. And how can you make that phase of your life? How can you get the most bang for your buck, basically? How can we go through these painful breakups, go through life transitions, go through empty nest syndrome, go through a divorce, go through a loss of a job, go through wanting to change your career and feeling like you're trapped in it? How can we go through these transitions and create a person within ourselves and without that is able to access what we need that's already inside of us to do those things? And so for me, one of those things has been looking the part. And I never knew that until just now, right? Like literally just now, this morning, I woke up with a download. How do we access that? And so one of the things that like I was thinking about when I was cooking my breakfast was looking the part is really, I feel like, an important part of convincing yourself that you are this person. When I was in treatment the first time, my counselor told me, now I want to make sure, because see, old droopy eyes right here, I want to make sure that I get that depth above that droopiness. So what we're going to do is we're going to bring it above the droop, right? So I'm just going to look dead on and I'm going to completely relax my eye and see how fucking far down my hood goes more than yesterday. And kind of just create the illusion that your crease is above the droop. You don't have to go overboard with this because honestly, a little goes a long way when it comes to depth, but you do want to get it a little bit above there. So don't raise your eyes, like no surprised eyebrows, and just kind of get it just above that a little tiny bit. The older we get, the less real estate we have right here. And so we're gonna have to like create the illusion. If you don't do this, the older you get, the more droopy your eyes are gonna look. And it's actually, for me, very unflattering. I cannot stand it when I got droopy eyes. So if you're going underneath your hood with your dimension, the only time you can see it is when you're like this, which is actually quite a bit. I think we use our forehead muscles way fucking more than we think we do. Like, we don't even know we're doing it, which is why people get Botox, because they're constantly living like this. I can't get Botox because I need my facial expressions to exist. So when I was in treatment, I had my counselor tell me one time, I told him, I don't know who I'll be if I'm not doing drugs. Like, basically that was everything about my personality. And he said, Katie, I can't tell you who you are, but I will tell you this. You are how you treat other people. And if you ask me, I would say you're compassionate. Well, at the time, I was a fucking badass, and that was a huge part of my identity. And so I thought that was fucking lame. But then he went on to tell me, to tell you the truth, because I was a construction worker like for many years at this point. And he said, at this point, I had had a couple waitressing jobs, but I couldn't even waitress because I was so inappropriate. And I had to be a construction worker because my behavior wouldn't go anywhere else, like period. And so on the job site, my behavior was perfectly acceptable. And so that was the only place that I could work because I could not get in line. He said, well, Katie, I don't know why, but I just get this picture of you wearing a power suit on Wall Street. Can you imagine how that impacted me? Like, I really had mixed feelings about that because, for one, I thought, fuck that. A power suit? What is that? But then on the other hand, what he had said to me was such a new and different idea. Like, somebody actually pictured me in a serious role where I had power and I was beautiful. And so that kind of hung with me for a really long time. And although I can't even imagine doing that for a job because that would be lame to me, but there was a seed planted for me. One of the things about that seed was my physical appearance. Now, I have always strongly identified with my physical appearance. If I am going to be somebody, I am going to look like it, period. And so for me, for many years, that was like a mechanic and a fucking snowboarder and a drug dealer or whatever the case may be. I looked the part, a metalhead. Like, that's something that has always been really important to me, is the music that I listen to. There has always been this idea that, like, if I'm gonna be this, I'm gonna look it. And for me, the way that I look has always, it's like I put on my fucking construction worker suit, or I put on my person on Wall Street suit, or I put on my pretty girl suit, or I put on my raver girl suit, or whatever, right? And like, even today, when I work, I put on my noise canceling headphones, even if they're not on. And the reason why is because when I put those on, it's like over the top, man. It's like I put those on and I am going to work. I mean business. Man, this looks so pretty. Even today, like, if I'm feeling some kind of way, I put on the correlating look. I look a certain way. And learning how to do my makeup was the beginning of me admitting and accessing a beautiful, powerful woman within me who wants attention. When I did that, I learned that there was a facet of me that I never knew I had. And that there's like a sexy, hungry, beautiful, empowered female within me that has the ability to do things that I didn't have the ability to do before I learned how to do my makeup. Coming to current, what am I doing here? Now, I realize, like, makeup is a big part of my transformation. And I believe that it becomes a big part of a lot of people's transformation. And my business is transformation. It's getting women through transitions in their life. When I do Transforming the Face of 40, that's not really about being 40. Turning 40 is one of the transitions that happens to us, and it actually goes hand in hand with a lot of changes and also kind of midlife reflection, where we are looking back at one half of our life and we are getting a very real sense of how much we have left and what we have and haven't done, the contributions that we've made, and like the regrets that we have. We're getting to the end of our life and we're thinking things like, am I going to be alone when I'm older? Am I going to have enough money when I'm older? Have I done the things that I wanted to do? Am I running out of time? Right? And a lot of us have like raised kids, raised husbands, and we have dedicated so little time to ourselves, our self-care, and our self-development that some of us don't even know who we are, and we have only half of our life left, and we have done nothing that we wanted to do. And so how do we create the person that can do those things in the amount of time that we have left? Because, you know, when we were younger, we had all the time in the world. Now we have this finite amount of time, and we need to capitalize on everything that we have. And so that means maximizing our access to our own abilities in any fucking way that is at our disposal. And I just realized this morning, like, I want to teach people how to do their makeup, but really what my gig is teaching women, walking women through transitions so that they can become like the most empowered and beautiful person that they've always wanted to be. What did you want to look like when you were younger? What do you want to do? And it really changed the game for me, realizing that this morning. And so I'm really excited about it. And I'm also really excited because tomorrow I have a really exciting announcement for you. But for right now, I'm just going to let you guys know that I wrote that book. It has all the information that I teach in my course that was very pricey, and I feel like maybe the price might have deterred a lot of you. It's all in this book for $10. So get it, get it, get it. I'm excited for you guys to read it, and I know that the information in there is going to give you guys some fucking gems. So yeah, as I'm going through the grieving process of like getting over this breakup, I am really like, okay, so I'm not running from it. If I need to feel sad, I'm not like trying to slap abundant mindset over the top of my grief. Not at all. Here's what I am doing though, is that when I need to feel sad, so there is a big difference between me missing that person and me thinking that I'm not going to do better. And quite frankly, when I'm in my grief, that is exactly what I think. And it's just not true. Because here's the deal. The reason why we think that, the reason why I think that, is because that's the best relationship I've ever been in. He was the nicest to me, but was he? I mean, all my boyfriends have always been really nice to me. You know what I mean? I just wasn't able to like receive love in the same way that I was able to receive this love. And the reason why I got that relationship that was so connected, it was the most connected, most physically satisfying, most communicative. It met me everywhere. Head, heart, crotch. That's what my bestie tells me. Relationships have to meet you head, heart, crotch. And quite frankly, I've only had one other relationship in my life that met me there, and I would say that I like this one a lot better just because I wasn't using. The first time I had that in a relationship, I was using. And so I've always thought that I was never going to have a relationship like that when I was clean because I thought that the connection was because of the drugs, and it might have been. So it met me at the head, heart, and crotch, and it was the best I've ever had it. So the thing about that is the only reason why I got that is because of the growth that I've gone through in the last 7 years when I've been single, attracted that. I've never been able to attract that because what I was on the inside was not that. I was attracting what I was. And now I'm just like, if I could get that without even actually knowing, then what's next? Okay, I need to get the bottom done. So I'm just gonna stop talking for like, just a minute here.
20 minutes later.
You know, when it comes to my channel, one of the reasons why I have always, if I create a video and it's not that good, I just scrap it. And I've kind of judged myself about that for like a really long time, that like it's like perfectionism. Sometimes it is that, and like knowing the difference for me is really important. But here's what the truth is. I don't want to put out content that doesn't give you guys something more. When I'm like kicking out new product reviews, and they're just me doing a look, that's okay. I want to give you guys something more. And when I'm watching videos that are just about makeup, when I'm just getting makeup, there's only so much of that I can watch. It's not sustainable for me because I need something more and I want to give you guys something more. So when I create videos that don't have that or they lack substance, they're okay, but I want you guys to have more. And I want to be creating more, something, and I haven't been able to fucking put my finger on what more. It's this transformation from the inside out. It's like inside and outside. I want to create that for you guys. So that was the other thing that I was thinking is like, I knew it was never sustainable for me to have a channel where I just did makeup. That was never gonna work for me because that's not what I want for myself and that's not what I want to give you guys. I have some things nailed down now and I'm really excited about what I created for you guys in these books. I'm really excited for the clarity that that gave me. I'm going in with my NYX glitter primer and my P. Louise cut crease brush. I think you guys are going to be kind of surprised about what I'm about to do because, okay. I'm going to use the color Prom Queen on my lid with this Nabla brush. We'll see how it does. The Nabla N204. Super nudie. I don't know. This is never gonna make me happy. Okay, just do it. So ever since I started doing the things that are in this book that I made, even when I'm in pain, even when I don't feel good, my life is getting better and better and it's happening fucking fast. And it's actually, I almost feel guilty about it because 70% of the time, I feel really good. And then the other 30% of the time, I cry because I miss my ex-boyfriend. I miss his personality. I miss our conversations. Mostly those two things. Other things I miss too, but I'm gonna tell you right now, the nice things he did for me ain't even on the list. Those aren't the things I miss. I miss that like times that we had together, like the conversations. And honestly, like even when I'm feeling bad, my life is still skyrocketing. Like I said, I almost feel guilty about it because I feel like I'm not giving him his due. Like I feel like I'm obligated to grieve that and really like go into a slum and like I'm not like being loyal to him. Like loyalty means everything to me. You know what I mean? When people are, loyalty is my highest value, period. And so I almost feel like I'm not being loyal to him because I'm not grieving the loss in such a way that's like paralyzing. Don't get me wrong. There's times where I'm not feeling that fucking great about it. And there have been times that I have grieved it so hard that I felt like I wasn't going to be able to make it. But instead of sitting in that shit, I got in the solution and I did these things that I wrote about in this book. And the reason why I wrote them was because they worked so fucking good. They work so good, I feel bad. I'm the kind of person who like believes in like sacrificing myself to in a lot of different ways, but mostly like with my time and energy, I like really sacrifice myself to show people that I love them. That's one of the ways that I show love. I know this is a little bit boring, but honestly, I like it. And it matches my... Now, see, I looked straight ahead and I just have my lid just above my droop so that it looks like I have a little more lid space. And honestly, my droop is getting higher or lower, I guess you would say. And so I have been kind of trying to take it up just a tiny bit higher because I want to create that illusion that I have a higher lid. It's not in the same place as it used to be for me. Like it's getting lower and lower because I'm getting older. I'm gonna go into that one color, the dark brown. I'm gonna deepen this up and then I'm gonna use the color Flash in the Surge palette as my inner corner highlight, right here. With this Voldemorphe Voldemorphe JH38. I'm gonna give it a little spritzy poo with my MAC Fix Plus. And I'm gonna go just a little bit over the lid because that's been kind of my thing lately. Okay, that's the look. I'm gonna go finish the rest of my face and I'll be back when I'm done. So this is the manifesto, the pièce de résistance. I used my Blush palette in Thrill Joy for my blush. And then I used Mirage for my highlighter by Unearthly Cosmetics. Okay, so here's the deal. I went in with Saturn rings on the lid up on top because what I had going there just wasn't quite enough for me. And this color didn't really match as well as I wanted it to. So then I went over that color with Mirage, which is beautiful. I have not used this enough, but it is so fucking cute. And then I used my ColourPop Cream Gel Liner in Get Paid on my waterline, and it looks beautiful. And then I used my Give Me Glow Lippy in Daddy. And so Tanya bought me all these Give Me Glow lippies, and I have actually loved every color that I've used. And so this looks really just perfect and romantic and super cute and sweet. So what's the point? I am decidedly embarking on this journey about that. The course of action that I want to help you guys take is about transitions. And so age can be a factor, but it's not the only factor. And also it's really about like, how do we recreate and redefine ourselves in ways so that we can like get the good shit, get the good guy, spice up our relationship, get a better job, do whatever, get a better life, have more fun, be more exciting, just have access to the things that are going to give us more of what we want instead of keep doing what we're doing and having less. So anyway, if you're going through a breakup, go check out my book. It's in my stand store. It's called Embracing Abundance: From Breakup to Level Up. And really the principles in this guide apply to anything, honestly. Check it out. It's free, totally free. Check it out. I'm super excited about it. I'm super excited about what you guys are going to think about it. And then also for currently $9.99, the book, it's probably like 27 pages. It's a chunk, but it's not like you don't have to read it from page to page. It's like bullet pointed and illustrated. It's really fucking pretty. So right now it's $9.99 and it has everything that I have in my big course that doesn't take material. So anything that you can do with your mind, with your thoughts, like any of those things, kind of like all the principles and the routines and those kinds of things, they're all in the book, and why you would use them, what's important about it, why does it fucking matter, all of that stuff. Like it's really something you guys can sink your teeth into. And then I have another announcement for my next video, which I'm also really excited about. So anyways, you guys go check that shit out. I'll have it linked below. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell because you can't wait to see what happens next. Hit the like button if you like this look, or if you just like my sparkling personality and my boyish charm, and hang out with me in the comments because I fucking love it. If you got like halfway through this video and you're like, oh my god, she's so fucking pretty till she opens her big mouth, then go check me out on Instagram. I don't talk as much on Instagram. And if you were like, don't sugarcoat it, Katie, why don't you tell us how you really feel, then go check out my Patreon because I don't hold anything back on my Patreon. Thank you guys so much for watching. You could have been anywhere, but you were here wasting your time with me, and I totally appreciate you. Later. Slayer.